Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Man, what a crazy day it has been on this Friday night. There's a lot of stuff that we gotta talk about. A lot of stuff that went down both in the wrestling world and in the gaming world. So let's get to it. What is going on? It is, you already know who it is actually already. But if you don't, because, well, we're under 500,000, not 500,000 subscribers. I wish. 5K subscribers and not growing. So, what are you waiting for? Press the subscribe button, please. It would help a lot for my dead channel. We talk all things variety here, from wrestling, from gaming. I do some skits here and there, some really dumb skits. So we do a bunch of variety of things. We also do this podcast that I normally do at 4:30, but I'll get into why it's not at 4:30 today. But anyway, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, make sure you're in the chat commenting, or if you're watching the replay, make sure you leave your thoughts on everything we talk about here on this podcast tonight, whichever. But anyway, make sure you do everything, all those things. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm at DylanLasagna on Twitter and Instagram. And with that in mind, let me actually first address why I didn't start the show as planned at 4:30. Something came up that I had to take care of, something for my side gig, my real IRL part-time side gig, another podcast that I do editing for, so I had to do a little bit of changes for that, and re-upload that, and so that took a little while, but I was actually able to. That was kind of a good thing that I delayed it, not Smackdown, but delayed the podcast to right now because of Smackdown. There's a lot of major and minor developments that happen on Smackdown, which we will get into in just a sec. But I gotta say, Smackdown looked like it was good. It was good. I actually, this is the first actual episode of Smackdown in months, probably like the best in its entirety on Fox, where I actually gave a shit. It's like every segment, every promo, every match had a story, a reason behind it. I even though some of the wrestlers aren't they're not the best built up, but there's a story. Give me a story. Give me a reason to care. And if they give me a reason to care, then I'm invested. And they did that throughout this show. And you know what? I give WWE my somewhat props. They did a decent job tonight. They did a kind of a good job tonight. So we'll get into some of my highlights of this show tonight. And there's actually a lot of stuff we're going to get into on tonight's episode. So let's get into SmackDown, because the big thing I really was excited for on this episode of SmackDown was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns turned heel. It was official. He's a heel. At SummerSlam, attacking The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, attacking Braun Strowman after their Universal Championship match, after The Fiend had just won it. Then, the following Fridays on SmackDown, he aligned himself with Paul Heyman. And again, I made a video on this, which was released on Tuesday. Go watch that. Where he refused to sign the contract. He did not sign the contract for the triple threat match at Payback, which happened on Sunday, because he did not like the terms that were in there. He wanted the changes to be made to the contract, and then he will sign the contract. But until then, even though he will be at Payback, he will not sign the contract. So after that, we saw Paul Heyman, and then we go to Payback. It takes him the good majority of the night and the good majority of the match to sign the contract, because you know what, these guys were beating up on each other far long enough, and they're finally broken down to a pulp. And you know what, it's time to just waltz in there and sign the contract and get an easy dub. And he kind of got almost an easy dub. He had to escape a Mandible Claw, and Roman dick kicked the Fiend and speared Braun Strowman to win back the Universal Championship he never lost. So now we are here. Roman Reigns is finally a heel. He's officially a heel. He dick kicked the Fiend. He waited until the last possible moment to sign the contract to officially be in the match because, again, IWC, that's what heels do. They wait until the last possible moment to they get an advantage. So, what is Roman gonna say tonight? What did he say tonight? Not much, actually. Paul Heyman did all the talking, but unlike with Brock Lesnar, he wasn't as loud, obnoxious. He wasn't like, my client, Roman Reigns. He wasn't like all loud and brash as he normally is with Brock Lesnar. Tonight, he sounded depressed for some reason. I don't know why. He sounded sad. He sounded somber. It was as if he was trying to hold all of his emotions back. I don't know if that had to do with him being fired as the head writer, the lead for Monday Night Raw. But nonetheless, he was trying to hold all of his emotions back because he gave a really good promo. He just held his emotions back. So we get into I'm gonna give some quick pointers here because I want you all to check out the promo yourself. So the two highlights I saw in this promo, this opening segment, was how Paul Heyman mentioned how both him and Roman were cast off to the side, especially Roman, when he did absolutely almost everything he could for both the fans and the WWE. And when Roman wanted to take a break, when Roman had to go care for his family, WWE did all they could to erase him and forget about him as if he wasn't there. And that was a real good line there because WWE literally did that. WWE literally did that until they started putting him back into side programs, like non Raw and SmackDown programs. I think he was on R-Truth's gaming show gaming show on the WWE Network. But anyway, so he mentions how they were both on the side of irrelevancy, and then Roman Reigns was the one to bring himself, and he was the one that brought Paul Heyman back into the fold, and that's where their alliance starts when Roman contacted Paul, and that's where the heel turn began when Roman Reigns contacted Paul Heyman. I like that. I really like that. And then Paul Heyman went into his usual spiel about declaring Roman Reigns as the defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. Then he handed the mic to Roman Reigns, who reiterated what was already done at Payback, and he reminded everyone that it didn't matter who won the Fatal 4-Way tonight, which involved Big E, who unfortunately was taken out by Sheamus, so he was replaced by Jey Uso. And then it involved Sheamus, Matt Riddle, and Baron Corbin. So Roman Reigns didn't take the competition seriously because all he was going to do at Clash of Champions, he was going to show up and win. So that was a good promo. That was a good, strong promo. I wish they Roman did a little bit more. It's like I was waiting for Roman to unleash verbal hell on fans. Like, this was 5 years in the making. You know, all the boos, the jeers of Roman sucks, fuck you Roman, and all that. They do it for Roman. The hashtag they do it for Roman. And I don't know, maybe because it wasn't in front of fans, Roman like didn't want, he wanted to go on, he wanted to unleash his pipe bomb when fans were back. I don't know. Maybe he just thought less is more. He wanted to keep his words, to a minimum. But I mean, that's not a bad thing, but anticipation was high. Like, when he was about to speak, it's like, oh man, I was so ready to wait for him to see if he's going to bash and roast all the smarks, all the naysayers who were booing him, who were hating on him, who were straight up trashing him. But I mean, it was whatever. He already had that growl. He already had that physique of I'm really gonna fuck with you all. And you know what? That's okay. I mean, I don't mind it. Again, I just wish he went unleashed. He unleashed verbal hell on anyone. But nonetheless, good start for the Roman Reigns heel turn. But good stuff there. But yeah, anyway, Jey Uso returned, and he was kind of wondering what's going on with this Paul Heyman connection with Roman Reigns, and he wanted a way to be in the Fatal 4-Way match, and Roman got kind of strung some strings together to get Jey Uso into the match throughout the night, and luckily Paul Heyman convinced Adam Pearce to do so. So Roman Reigns literally he literally just what's the word? I guess he manipulated the system. I forgot. I always forget the term that AJ Styles used. Whatever. So Jey Uso wins the number 1 contenders Fatal 4-Way match in a nice finish. So Baron Corbin tries to go for end of days, but Matt Riddle reverses it, and then Baron Corbin gets a bro kick, but Sheamus ends up getting the bro to sleep after that, and then Matt Riddle goes for the, I don't know what he calls it, the bro splash or the whatever it's called on Baron Corbin. But once he tries to go for the pin, he doesn't see Jey Uso, who goes for the Uso splash. And then Jey Uso is going to face Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions. I like this. I really like this. Now, it's, again, for some people, might not be the most appealing opponent for Roman Reigns because, well, Jey Uso just got back. He's only known as a mid-card tag team player, but this has a lot of storyline potential. Cousin versus cousin, the bloodline, all the history there, all the Samoan history there. Like there's a lot that can be done here. It's like Roman and Paul Heyman can either have Jey Uso force him to lie down for or forfeit the match, or Jey Uso is like so defiant that he doesn't want to throw the match. He wants to fight Roman. He fights Roman at Night of Champions or Clash of Champions, whatever. But Roman beats him so sadistically that it makes him an even bigger heel. So it distances him. It's like it breaks him away from the Usos, from that bloodline. So it's like Roman is his own man with Paul Heyman. So interesting stuff there. It's like kind of intrigued what happens next with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. So pretty good stuff there. Elsewhere on the show, we got a big swerve here, a big shake-up here in the women's division. And let's first talk about a little briefly about how we got there. So we have a rematch of the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and then they go up against Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Golden Role Models. And obviously, if you didn't watch Payback, Bayley and Sasha Banks lost the Women's Tag Team Championships to Baszler and Jax. So the Golden Role Models are not on a good streak. They've been on a cold spaghetti, cold pizza streak, if you know what I mean. They were once on top of the world of the women's division, dominating it for months, but now they've rapidly sunk as bad as the Milwaukee Bucks. But anyway, so we get, I'm not going to talk too much about the match because what happened afterwards is much more interesting. So we get to near the end. Sasha Banks is on the ring apron. She's going to try to clap Shayna Baszler's head off on the LED ring post, but Sasha Banks breaks her knees. No kidding. She breaks both her knees trying to do a Meteora onto Baszler onto the LED ring post, but Baszler dodges it, and Sasha Banks claps her knees onto the ring post, and Sasha is seriously hurt. In storyline, of course. So Sasha can't get in the ring, and Sasha is obviously hobbled by this, and like every offensive move she does, even with the tag team move with Bayley onto Baszler, she doesn't really have much firepower in it. And we know what we do with phones, right? Unassigned, huh? Well, guess what we do with you unassigned? Take out the battery. Always forget to do that. But anyway. So, Sasha Banks and Bayley do their tag team move, but Sasha is still hobbled. And then, all of a sudden, Nia Jax is on the turnbuckle, and she freaking flattens both Sasha and Bayley with a crossbody to help her and Shayna Baszler retain the Women's Tag Team Championships. All I could say, it was a very good Women's Tag Team match. And I don't know why some people were trashing the finish, because I thought Nia Jax freaking pancaking Sasha and Bayley was kind of funny. It was like, okay. So it's like Nia like literally squashing like two bugs. I don't know. That's kind of funny to me. So anyway, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax exit the ring. So apparently, I guess there's no dissension between the two anymore, between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. However, Sasha Banks and Bayley are still in the ring. EMTs are checking on Sasha Banks because of her knees. And after the commercial break, they're still in the ring. They're trying to get Banks to get on the stretcher so she can be taken to the hospital. Freaking WWE. But Sasha Banks waves them off. She doesn't want to go to the hospital. And then Bayley wants to assist her to the back, and Banks agrees. So they try to go out of the ring, but all of a sudden, bang! All of a sudden, Bayley is the one to kick Sasha Banks in the head, and Bayley snaps onto Sasha, assaulting her all over the ring. And she throws Sasha into the steel steps, into the barricade, and then she goes after Banks' injured knee. And man, I honestly was not expecting that at all. Like, I knew the turn was happening, like, well, for like 6 months. But not from Bayley. Not from Bayley. In all honesty, it's like we'll get into my opinions on that later. So Bayley attacks Sasha's injured knee further. She's kind of like at that point, it was kind of a weird assault. Because Bayley was doing was attacking Sasha with her fists and then slamming Sasha's head into the ground, into the mat, and then finally Sasha tries for a comeback, but Bayley knocks her out with a knee to the skull, like in a similar way to like how Randy Orton punched people in the head. And then Bayley grabs a chair, and we all know where this is going. She puts Sasha's head in it in like a sandwich, and then gets on the turnbuckle and stomps on it and breaking Sasha's neck, knocking her out and smoking her money. So Sasha is seriously injured from Bayley's attack. Bayley is all smiles. She's clutching her Smackdown Women's Championship, and the Golden Role Models are no more. Bayley has no friends. Bayley, no friends. And here we go. I was honestly kind of expecting this to happen a little later, but I don't know. It just feels weird, that it happened now, because I thought, Sasha assists Bayley at Clash of Champions, and then they slowly creep towards that turn, near when it gets closer to Survivor Series season. But they do it now. But I mean, I'm not gonna get all up in arms about it, but it just feels weird, It just feels really weird because now, if WWE wants to go all in on this story, because I think this is a program that can go into WrestleMania next year. They gotta find a way to make it worthwhile to WrestleMania. But we'll see. I thought the execution was really good here. I really thought the execution was really good here. So Bayley is the one that turns on Sasha Banks unexpectedly, because I guess Bayley knew that maybe Sasha will turn on me and try to go after my SmackDown Women's title. So shit, I'm fucked. She knows that she wants my title. So Bayley tried to take out Sasha and for good, but she knows she knows damn well that once she recovers, she's coming back. She's coming for that title. But it should be an interesting feud. I hope they don't rush it to Night of Champions. For the sake of prolonging this feud, what should be a long feud. But then again, I don't know who they have Bayley face at the pay-per-view. Maybe Naomi, or Carmella, or Nikki Cross again, or Alexa Bliss again. I don't know who. I really don't know who they have Bayley face as a one-off opponent before they get to Sasha Banks. We'll see. But I like what they did here. I like the execution here. So that's something. But on that note, it also breaks up another tag team in the women's tag team division. First, they broke up the Moronics, which I thought was long overdue. Finally, they broke up the Moronics. And they broke up Bayley and Sasha Banks. But then they have very little. They don't have very little tag teams in that women's division anymore. All they literally have now is Natalya and Lana and the Riot Squad, and That's it. That's literally your women's tag team division along with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. But literally the women's tag team division, there's nothing. There is nothing. So, yeah. Bayley is no friends. There's no friends for Bayley, and she's probably going to get all paranoid about Sasha. But what's to come next? I'm invested. So there's somebody in the chat here, and it's good dude. How are you doing? The good thing is that you're here. But anyway, let's get into and there was one more highlight. That was kind of funny to me. So after the opening match, which involved Heavy Machinery and Miz and John Morrison stole Otis's Money in the Bank briefcase, and I thought, wait, why didn't Otis chase after him? Why didn't Otis try to go after John Morrison? But then we found out later that because Otis carries a Money in the Bank lunchbox, Otis doesn't keep the contract in the actual briefcase. He keeps it in the freaking lunchbox. So what John Morrison got instead was not the contract. He pretty much got what Otis had in what Otis usually brings to something. Like power tools, a sandwich. Typical Otis stuff. Oh man, freaking Otis. But I'll admit, he did outsmart John Morrison, but that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. Oh man. Anyway, now that that's all said and done with it, SmackDown, we did get some breaking WWE news before I was supposed to go live, and it's this interesting report about how WWE is not allowing talent to use like third-party platforms. So they're not allowing its talent to use like Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, or any of those platforms. So let's kind of dive into it because I'm very confused on why they're doing this. So this was first reported by Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. And let's see what it says here. It says here that Vince McMahon issued an edict. Sorry, I need to define what this is. He issued an official order or proclamation this past week that talent can no longer engage with outside third parties. So, yeah, outside platforms, which would presumably include platforms like Cameo, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube, etc., etc. WWE held a call with talent last Sunday regarding the reinvention of the product. During the call, it was said that WWE owns the real names of talent, not just their character names. Yikes. McMahon followed up by sending a letter on Thursday, and this letter said this. If I can find it here. It was in this report. So McMahon wrote that it was imperative that they promote and protect the brand in every conceivable way, and that talents have 30 days to stop engaging with third parties. And I quote, "Some of you are engaged with outside third parties using your name and likenesses in ways that are detrimental to our company. It is imperative that these activities are terminated within the next 30 days by Friday, October 2nd. Continued violations will result in fines, suspension, or termination at WWE's discretion." McMahon wrote that these actions are necessary as part of WWE's rebuilding process as they enter the next phase of growth in WWE. And then there was another follow-up report on the reactions to how each talent is taking this order by Vince. So WWE held, they were pretty much stating that. So Pro Wrestling Insider adds that the vague wording of the letter is worrying a lot of people in the company, concerned over what exactly is allowed and won't be allowed. Some talents have already reacted negatively to the request, feeling it was in effect, feeling it was in effect in order to shut down their personal streaming channels, even though there's no confirmation that this is actually the case. What's up, Sirenzilla? Some talent noted that they are using some of these platforms like Cameo and YouTube as a way to make additional revenue during COVID-19. While WWE stopped touring with live events, which cuts out bonuses and merchandise earnings. PW Insider noted that while there are heavily merchandise talents like AJ Styles, who regularly streams his own content, some of the wrestlers who aren't on the same level as Styles have used the third-party platforms to build their own brand, interact with fans, and make some extra money under their real names to try and help offset the loss of revenue that came with the pandemic. It's obvious that WWE is trying to protect what they feel is their intellectual property, something all entertainment companies take seriously. There are grumblings among wrestlers about how they feel WWE is hurting their ability to make money outside the company at a time where their own WWE earnings are down during the pandemic. PW Insider noted that some wrestlers push the idea that losing freedom to promote themselves while working for WWE makes working somewhere else seem more enticing, at least as long as they allowed more freedom. Over the last 24 hours, there have been a lot of talk among talents who are thinking about pushing back against the latest order from WWE officials if they are actually required to shut down their personal streaming channels, which has not been confirmed as of this writing. And then it's believed that more on the order will be explained to talent at this week's tapings, end quote. Let's see. And then David Bixspan provided more context on the PW spyware on WWE's quote-unquote "We Own You" letter. It probably says a lot of the same stuff, but we'll read it anyway. It's speaking to talents today to a person. They describe using those platforms as a way to make additional revenue. Pretty much the same thing. In many cases, talents who have created streaming channels aren't names that are necessarily being heavily merchandised by the company. Yada yada. For talents who aren't on the level of AJ Styles, creating and building a stream platforms was seen as a fun opportunity. So we're pretty much saying the same thing here in this this letter. So, I honestly don't know what to make. I really don't. On one hand, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know where I stand on this situation. On one hand, it's confusing. On one hand, once you sign a contract that states that WWE can use your likeness to how they feel, then I guess that's where they have a fine line to do this kind of thing. But on the other hand, if these wrestlers want to engage in these platforms like Twitch, Cameo, TikTok, to expand their brand, to help them get a bigger following, then I don't know why Vince wants to take that away from them. Unless if they're engaging in bad activity. I mean, here's the thing with Twitch. It's like donations are okay. I don't see the problem with donations, but I do hear things like them breaking kayfabe, and then I guess AJ Styles mentioning that he tested positive for COVID was the last straw on that led to McMahon issuing the order in the first place. But I don't know. I just don't like the idea of WWE like completely controlling these on what these wrestlers do. It's bad enough when they're forced to like say and do like when it comes to Twitter and like what they're allowed to post on Instagram, but taking away like all the fun that they're doing on a Twitch or like YouTube live stream, it's completely fucked, you know? It's completely fucked. And especially when some of these wrestlers are doing charity live streams. I think if I recall correctly, Dakota Kai is setting up a charity live stream. And she probably can't do that now because WWE has this order in effect. In which that's gonna suck. That's really gonna suck. So I don't know. I just don't know how wrestlers are gonna react to this. And I know Paige changed her Twitch handle to her real name, so like she can like not shut down her Twitch account. But I don't know about the rest of them. I really don't. But I don't know. I just don't see this going well for both WWE and its wrestlers. It's like a dictatorship. it's like it's too controlling. It's way too controlling. But like don't make it like a no fun league as bad as the NFL. I mean, at least with the NFL, like I don't know if the NFL even allows like its players to stream on like a Twitch or something, but don't make it like a no fun league. Like, come on now. But yeah, let's just hope that these wrestlers aren't gonna be forced to shut down their third party accounts, because who knows? They might not be able to tweet anymore. They might not be able to do Instagram anymore. Vince McMahon will literally have control of everything. Every single thing. It's like how are these wrestlers gonna grow their following? Like out once they're done with wrestling. They can't because they don't have an established brand. They don't have an established brand. Because Vince won't let him. As much as I like Vince for all he's done for wrestling, he's been too controlling. He has been way too controlling. So hopefully, we'll see like what happens. It's probably gonna backfire like hard, and I just really don't see this going well for all involved. All right. Actually, I have to step out for a bit. We're gonna continue with the podcast, but I need to do something real quick. I need to step out for a bit and get something. Okay, we're back. All right, now let's get into the topics that I had listed on here. These were topics that actually came up, these were breaking topics that came up to me, literally, before I came on the air. But we're back to the topics that are on hand. So let's get into it. Let's finally get into it. Not that into it TurboTax bullshit. But anyway, let's talk about the Wednesday Night Wars. You know, the Wednesday night circle jerk that the smarks like to have each and every week about which show is better. NXT is better. All Elite Wrestling's better. AEW has the best ratings of all time. They've been NXT week after week after week with overall viewership, with overall demographics. NXT needs to set sail on a different night. Yeah. Well, for NXT, they're in luck because this Wednesday night circle orgy is about to probably and hopefully, possibly, may come to an end. Possibly. So, according to trusted wrestling insider WrestleVotes on Twitter, they said the following, and I quote, "Over the past month or so, discussions have transpired regarding NXT moving off Wednesday nights. No decision imminent yet. However, talks are ongoing. The numbers over the next 2 weeks might have some impact on this decision. Now, keep in mind, the NXT viewership was, I don't know the exact number, but over 800,000. So that's a lot better than what they normally do against AEW, which is like 600,000 or less. So we'll get into my opinions on that. Fightful also added that the idea of NXT moving nights was pitched about 2 months ago by the USA Network, with the Tuesday night airings considered as test runs. WWE was receptive to the idea of moving nights, and Fightful also noted that USA aren't as committed to the competition aspect like WWE is of NXT on Wednesdays against AEW because it costs them viewers. And that point right there in Fightful's report is exactly why this so-called war is stupid. It's costing both AEW and NXT viewers. How are both entities supposed to grow when they're constantly forcing wrestling fans to choose between what show to watch? Unless if you have two browsers or a way to shrink Dynamite or NXT into a small ass screen, yeah, you're gonna be flipping channels a lot. You're gonna be flipping through channels a lot. So rather than be on separate nights to grow and expand, again, both companies elected to be on the same night and again make viewers choose between what show to watch. And most of the blame has to go on NXT here. NXT elected to stay on Wednesday nights. They elected, I think NXT was mostly a Wednesday show. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they were on the WWE Network, but once they knew that AEW was going to be on the Wednesday because AEW can't be on Tuesday or Thursday because of one, the NBA on TNT, regardless of what they're trying to push right now. The NBA on TNT has been the staple for Turner for decades. There is no way, regardless of what wrestling fans that are non-sports fans say, there is no way in hell that Turner is going to allow a startup wrestling promotion take over the spot on Tuesdays or Thursdays to a startup wrestling promotion that has only been around for 1 year in over a basketball promotion, a basketball show that has been on for decades, especially when Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, and Charles have been bringing in viewers for decades. But anyway. What was I saying again? Oh yeah. So AEW moves to Wednesdays. AEW chooses to go on Wednesdays, and once WWE found that out, well, they decided to keep NXT's on Wednesday too. Except now it's 2 hours, and it's on the USA Network. And lo and behold, that's a bad idea. It turns out to be a bad idea because, well, as soon as they begin this so-called war, AEW begins to kick their ass on a weekly basis. But then again, as we look through this so-called war, it has hurt both NXT and AEW in more ways than one. For NXT, pretty much they've lost its identity, the identity that made it special, in favor of trying to compete with AEW. Pretty much they look like AEW now, with spot fest after spot fest, matches with no meaning, or matches that are just put together like at the last second. That's pretty much AEW, like brother from another mother right there. And when it comes to NXT, it's like, and AEW too, neither show has anything very few things interesting for it. Not anything, because there are a couple things. They have very few things interesting. And right now, there's nothing that interesting right now. NXT has especially nothing interesting at the moment. Keith Lee was one of the last interesting wrestlers on that show before he moved to the main roster. Karrion Kross was the last interesting character. Character makes wrestling interesting. But as soon as he got hot, he got injured. And, injuries suck, unfortunately. But he got hurt, and we don't know when he's going to be back. Rhea Ripley was on a roll too. And despite her promo skills, which are often shaky, she can wrestle. She has that brutality gimmick. But WWE, again, when it came to AEW, they elected to put it on Charlotte Flair, the NXT Women's Championship on Charlotte Flair, and practically slowly put Rhea Ripley in the back burner. And while I did enjoy Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole, we knew it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. But I will admit, McAfee is a damn good performer. I will admit that. But in a nutshell, NXT doesn't have anything interesting right now at the moment. They literally freaking did a 60-minute Iron Man match just to have it end in a freaking tie. And this is what I don't get. Why didn't they just have it go to sudden death overtime on the WWE Network? That's what I would have done. Or not have the match at all. Because this was stupid. This was stupid as all hell. I thought this was really dumb. Now for AEW. The problem with AEW is way too many choreographed spot fests. I hate it. I really do. Especially in the tag team matches that for some reason have become way too common as of late. Like the multi-man tag team matches. I mean, unless if it's a way to get as everyone on the show, it's not a good look. It really isn't a good look. But there are a couple of things that I do like going for it right now. The Dark Order and the recent domination, like they freaking destroyed Cody Rhodes. They literally destroyed Cody Rhodes. Like I was shook. I really was shook. MJF Britt Baker and her storyline with Big Swole. I just didn't like that one segment from last week, and good thing they moved that match between them to the main show. Thank God, because that's a feud that's been going on for months, and I don't know why they decided to put it on the buy-in in the first place. So thankfully, they moved their match to the main card. And then there's also the tension in the Elite, despite the Suck Bucks, the Young Sucks, whatever. And it's pretty much like there's more positives in AEW than NXT, because while I don't like the spot fest and there's still too many undefined characters, there's too many undefined wrestlers in AEW, at least there's still enough pace. They're slowly getting to that point of we need characters, we need matches with rhyme and reason. They're slowly getting to that point, albeit very slowly though. NXT, unfortunately, is on a downward spiral. So if both companies want to benefit from growing their fan base, from growing their viewership, NXT has to move, unfortunately. And you know what? There's no shame in that. There's no shame in moving night for NXT and moving nights. They lost this imaginary war. I don't even think they gave a shit in the first place. But if they want to move nights, hopefully they do. I think with the success that Tuesday nights bring, then I think it will work. I think Tuesday nights are the best nights for NXT to be on, even if Impact is on there. Like, even if Impact Wrestling is on Tuesday nights, then I don't think it matters. NXT can be on a Tuesday night. Again, with the Thursday night thing, I don't really like NXT on a Thursday night, because like with AEW, like they didn't want to be on a Thursday night because, again, TNT, not only TNT, the NBA on TNT, but Tony Khan didn't want to be have AEW on a Thursday night because, the Jacksonville Jaguars, on occasion, are on Thursday Night Football on the NFL. And there are, again, even if they aren't on Thursday Night Football still exists. So NXT would be destroyed by the NBA and the NFL in a 2-on-1 handicap match on Thursday nights. Just saying. So I think Tuesdays would be the best option for NXT if they were to move nights. And you know what? It's a win-win for both WWE and AEW, as well as fans, because they get to watch, wrestling fans get to watch NXT on one night. They're literally just focused on NXT on a Tuesday night, and then they get to focus on AEW the next night, and then there's a gap on Thursday, and then they get to watch SmackDown Friday, and then reset on with Raw, and then the cycle continues. So it's a win-win. And not only that, NXT can reestablish its identity. Like, go back to what made NXT really stand out. So if NXT moves to a different night, it'll be a win-win for everyone. It literally will. It'll make things better. So on to the next topic for tonight's episode. Let's talk about some releases. Let's talk about some releases that are going on in the WWE landscape. Prior to this episode going live, and prior to a couple hours ago, WWE lost two big name talents. They lost Brock Lesnar, and they lost Mauro Ranallo. So let's talk about Brock Lesnar first. So Mike Johnson of Pro Wrestling Insider first reported on Monday that Lesnar is a free agent. He's no longer under contract with WWE. And he said, and I quote, "While the sides have been working on a new deal with WWE, working on a new deal, they have hit an impasse and have paused discussions." WrestleVote's Verter validated the report, and they said that they added that once Lesnar is ready to work again, he will let Vince know, or vice versa. If WWE needs Brock, they will present a deal he can't refuse. Currently, it's nothing more than that. So again, I'll get to my opinions at the end of this topic. So let's get on to Mauro Ranallo. As you know, Mauro Ranallo, for a lot of people, was one of the best WWE announcers that they've had in a while. Like, some can argue that the best since Jim Ross. So, Mauro Ranallo once again departed WWE at some point in the last several weeks, according to Mike Johnson, and that's kind of explains why he was absent from NXT TakeOver 30 and the latest strings of NXT episodes. The reason why he was absent because he had to take care of a family issue back home in Canada. The exact issue, well, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer explained that he went back home to British Columbia where he grew up because his mother was sick. And then not only did he leave because of his ill mother, he also left, according to Meltzer, because he had other projects going on, such as a mental health documentary, and along with his commitments to Bellator and Showtime Boxing. All we had now is official confirmation from Mauro himself. WWE already confirmed that Mauro was not with the company anymore, so Mauro officially confirmed his departure in a Facebook post that said, and I quote, "I appreciate the opportunity. I had to realize my childhood dream of working in sports entertainment, and I wish WWE well in the future. Now I want to direct my focus and devote my time to my other projects and to my mental health charitable activities and the well-being of myself and my mother." End quote. So Mauro Ranallo is also not with WWE anymore. And it was also revealed a couple of hours earlier that former NXT Tag Team Champions Akam and Razar of the Authors of Pain were also released today. They're also no longer under WWE contract. They were last seen as part of Seth Rollins' stable back in March, like just a few weeks prior to the pandemic hitting WWE. So first of all, I wish Mauro Ranallo the best in what he does next. I know a lot of people will miss hearing him weekly on Wednesdays. Again, not his style is not for everyone. Some thought he was annoying. He brought down the brand, but I thought I liked Mauro Ranallo. I thought he brought a lot of energy into the matches. He can be a little bit overboard sometimes, but he was much more engaging and kept the match interesting than a Michael Cole or Tom Phillips, and especially Byron Saxton. But you know, he's not fully employed to WWE, so you know, I just wish him the best of luck in what he does. So he got replaced by Vic Joseph, and people are already claiming that NXT is dead. NXT is not the same anymore without Mauro Ranallo, and you guys are reaching. You guys are freaking reaching. And yeah, Vic Joseph is not the greatest commentator. He's not Mauro Ranallo, he's okay. At least he's somewhat better than Michael Cole. Would you all rather have Cole, Byron Saxton, or touchdown no flags Joe Buck calling your matches with Troy Aikman next to him? Would you rather have their biased asses retire from the NFL booth and call the passes cut or the Canadian Destroyer? Would you have Joe Buck calling your WWE matches on a full-time basis? Would you? So stop bitching. You got Vic Joseph now. No more Mauro Ranallo. So, again, I wish Mauro all the best. I hope his projects go well for him. I know a lot of fans will miss him. Just don't declare NXT the commentary dead simply because he's gone. You all will get used to Vic Joseph. I mean, this is not me trying to defend him, but in due time, you will get used to it. Now, on to the author's opinion. I personally wasn't a fan of this team. Because they didn't do anything. I mean, unless if they were in NXT, they probably did something. But again, I don't pay a lot of attention to NXT because, for one, I'm a broke ass mofo that doesn't have the WWE Network, and when NXT was on the WWE Network, and two, they didn't do anything on the main roster. They didn't do jack shit. All they did was let Drake Maverick pee himself, and they were always injured. Which, unfortunately, injuries suck, but they just got a lot of bad luck with the injuries. Nonetheless, I just hope they find success wherever they go next once Razor is fully healthy. But man, the WWE Tag Team divisions, both on Raw and SmackDown, do they even exist anymore? Do they even have any teams? Like, what do they have now? Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Angel Garza and Andrade. No. It's like every team that was in WWE are either injured or gone. It's so unreal. It's so unreal. It's like the tag team division is like not there. Literally not there. Now finally onto Brock Lesnar. I think it makes sense for both sides. Now I know Brock Lesnar wants like a lucrative deal, but WWE probably can't afford it right now. And I know Brock, like, as much as I dislike Brock Lesnar always winning world championships and then holding it hostage for like months, he's a valuable asset to WWE, like to pro wrestling, unfortunately. And what need is there for him to be wrestling right now? Like, without fans, there honestly is no need for him to come back right now. And even if he did, who's he gonna feud with? Who is he gonna feud with? It's too soon. Like, if WWE want to do a Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns storyline again, only this time Lesnar's the face, Roman's the heel with Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar literally has nobody. I think that's too soon. I think that's way too soon to do that. And are they just gonna do the Brock Lesnar Drew McIntyre match again? I would probably save that for WrestleMania. But who, like, outside of those options, who can legitimately face Brock Lesnar right now? The only option I can think of is Randy Orton. But I don't know. I don't see the appeal right now in that. But what I do know is that Brock is waiting for crowds to return again to negotiate a new deal. And WWE knows that. WWE knows that Brock Lesnar is not going to go anywhere. And sorry, AEW fans, Brock is not going there. In UFC, that's not an option for Brock either. So, both Brock and WWE know that Brock is staying in WWE. They're just waiting for the right time to negotiate a new deal, get the right terms together, and once that's all done, he'll be back. Hopefully in a non-world title feud. For the first go-around, at least. So, that's all the wrestling news I got. That's all the wrestling news I got. And we're not done yet. We are not done yet. No. That's only half of the show for tonight. We still got gaming news we got to cover. And it's actually some good gaming news. All Mario. And that's the theme for this second half of the show. Again, if you're watching this live podcast right now, make sure you share this with your friends, your family, and all that good stuff. But anyway, yesterday, some of us at least, were expecting a direct. Honestly, I was expecting a direct. Not like this partner showcase BS or a mini or a game-specific direct. No. You know why? Because this year has not been kind to Nintendo fans and Nintendo Switch only owners. It's like, I don't want to go out and buy a PS4. I don't want to go out and buy an Xbox One. I do not have a need to buy the next-gen consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X, and especially PS5, even though Ratchet & Clank look good. Spider-Man Miles Morales looks fun, but I don't have a need to buy any of the next-gen consoles. The Switch is all I need for right now. It's the only thing that interests me. But what doesn't interest me is what they currently released in this year prior to yesterday. All they got for this 2020 was Xenoblade Definitive. You know how disappointed I was with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. 51 Clubhouse games. It looked okay, but I probably will pick it up if it ever goes on sale. Paper Mario Origami King, not interested in that at all. And Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Yeah, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, that comes with new game modes, new side quests, new difficulty options. I'm not interested in that either. And then, of course, the 22 million unit seller Animal Crossing New Horizons. Don't care about that at all. I will admit, though, it came out at the right time. It came out with the start of the pandemic. It sold Switches out instantly. It made people frustrated that they couldn't find a Switch. They couldn't find Animal Crossing. And you know what? I gotta give props to Nintendo for because Animal Crossing helped them. That was their one saving grace for this year. But I could give two shit about the game itself, because it just does not interest me. I really don't care about that game. And honestly, I really don't get the appeal of it. So, for fans like me that don't have really a lot of interest in those games, we've had nothing to look forward to. But Oh yeah, we had nothing to look forward to. Nintendo's been like silent for the better part of exactly 1 year, with the exception of a couple of announcements. Min Min from ARMS, and that's pretty much it. Everything else was shit. The partner showcases have been terrible, especially the first one. That was bad. The second one was okay. It had more games, but games that a good 5% will care about. But that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. But yesterday, on September 3rd, one day before today, on the 1 year anniversary of the General Nintendo Direct, the last General Nintendo Direct. Don't worry, I got something special for that. Early yesterday morning, while I was still sleeping, not checking Twitter for like if there's a direct, is there a direct? Is there a general direct? Is there a general direct? Nintendo once again shadow dropped a direct. However, it wasn't a direct mini, it wasn't a direct partner showcase. It wasn't a Smash Sakurai Presents. It wasn't an Indie World. No. It was a Mario themed direct. And for those in the rumor mill, we all most of them knew what it was. It was a Mario themed direct to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the franchise Plumber. So, this special direct, I will admit, it had a lot. It really had a lot. And we're going to briefly break it down because you guys should watch it if you haven't already. Even if you aren't a Mario fan, you should check it out. Something may interest you in this Mario Direct. So in this Mario 35th anniversary Direct, the following was revealed: a handheld Super Mario Bros. Themed Game & Watch system, which will let you play the original Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Level, Game & Watch ball, and it also acts as an alarm clock, a digital alarm clock. All right, cool. It should be a good collector's item. And then they get into what I thought one of the best announcements of this direct: the long-awaited Super Mario 3D World Switch port, with a seemingly new collection of levels through an expansion called Bowser's Fury. And then later on, like afterwards, they announced the amiibo for Cat Mario and Cat Peach. And both of those will release on February 12th, 2021. So it unfortunately gets pushed out of 2020. I really was hoping this would be in December 2020, but man, that's a bummer. But nonetheless, I'm still excited for that. I mean, I can wait a couple more months for that. A battle royale version of Super Mario Bros. Called Super Mario 35. 35 players compete against each other by defeating enemies in a very interesting course and in a very interesting way. So they have to do this to be like as fast as possible to become the last plumber standing. And this is where the questionable things start to pile in. It's not just available for Switch Online members only. It's only available for a limited time. It's available for 5 months, and that's it. So it's available from October 1st this year until March 31st, 2021. That I don't get. But we'll get into my opinions on the limited availability when I get to my opinions. So next we get an augmented reality version of Mario Kart called Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. And I'll admit, this looks pretty cool. this is a Mario Kart game that allows you to drive like Mario Kart RC toys around your house like via virtual tracks with your Switch, where it's in docked or handheld mode. And that's available next month on October 16th. And then we got some other Mario Anniversary themed like through in-game events, such as a Mario Kart Tour that like features an unlockable SNES Mario Kart version of Mario and Donkey Kong, a Smash Bros. Online tournament in November and December, a themed speedrun course in Mario Maker 2, and one that I'm particularly interested in, a special Splatfest, which is between Super Mushroom versus the Invincibility Star. That's going to take place in January 2021. Super Mario themed furniture in Animal Crossing that's releasing in March 2021. I don't know why they're releasing that very late. And then of course you got physical items like Lego Mario sets, and then Mario Monopoly. And then last but not least, before the big announcement, which I'll get into just a bit, the original Super Mario All-Stars, which consisted of the first 3 Super Mario Bros. And the Lost Levels, Super Mario The Lost Levels, will be released on the Nintendo Switch Online eShop. And it's exclusive to Switch Online members, and this one has enhanced 16-bit graphics, and it'll be available starting the day of that direct. Now, before we get into that big one more thing that was revealed, the direct so far, it revealed a lot of good stuff that would give Mario a decently good anniversary celebration for the next 5 to 6 months. I just feel like if had COVID not like completely destroyed the world like the way we knew it, I mean like not like let me rephrase that, if it hadn't like changed like significantly the way we live right now, I bet the rollout would have been like much earlier and much grandiose, much like grander, much bigger than this feels. This just feels like, oh, okay, Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. Here you go. It just feels, like it just feels like, oh, okay, here you go. It's like you get a cheeseburger. It's just like you get a, I don't know what kind of analogy to use here. It's like you get a pizza, but you only get half of the pizza. That's how I kind of feel about this anniversary celebration. So, had COVID not completely changed the way we live now, I could have foreseen Nintendo going literally all out with this celebration. They, how the Summer Olympics was supposed to be in Tokyo this year. Nintendo literally could have used the hell out of the Olympics to market the 35th anniversary, and Nintendo would have destroyed E3 with not just the games that they announced with like Paper Mario, Pikmin 3, of course the already announced ones prior to the supposed E3, Animal Crossing, but the Mario, the Mario games, the Mario Anniversary, that would have destroyed. That would have like made Nintendo the big winner of E3, like hands down. And then of course you had the Super Mario Land or Nintendo Land or whatever it was called for Universal Studios, but Nintendo had to set back construction due to COVID. So like the pandemic clearly affected the big plans Nintendo wanted to roll out for the 35th anniversary of Mario, and that's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. I really, because Mario alongside Crash is one of my favorite mascot characters. So it's just really unfortunate that this kind of feels like a whimper than a bang. But it's at least they're still doing something. Like they're still trying to go like, okay, bang, with the anniversary. However, in spite of all of that, I have to call out Nintendo on some BS decisions before I get into the good stuff of what was shown into this Direct. First of all, the theme of this Direct, the limited availability. Super Mario Bros. 35 looked like a fun take, at least for me, on the Battle Royale genre. But why is it a limited game? Why is it a limited run game for only 6 months? And it doesn't help the fact that it's only available for Switch Online only members. Do you see Fortnite or COD, Warzone, or what other games require an online service? Valor, Apex. Do you see any of those free to play games, like exclusive to the Nintendo Switch Online service? No. It doesn't make sense. But the big thing here is the limited availability. Like, do they not think it's going to be popular? Because it will. It really will. I just don't see why after the 31st, after March 31st, they've renamed the game, They renamed this game to Super Mario Bros. Battle Royale or Super Mario Battle Royale or something. And then after that, they can continue to update the game with like new play styles. Like you have Super Mario Bros. The original Super Mario Bros. Style. You can add Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World. Kind of like Super Mario Maker. Like how it has all the different play styles. Do that for the Super Mario Bros. Battle Royale. But I don't know. This is kind of like a one step forward, so many ass backwards decision by Nintendo. It really doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. There's a lot of potential for this Battle Royale by Nintendo to succeed, but they really fucked up by making it a limited thing. And we're not done there with limited availability, because there's one thing that they fucked up on that again. But we'll get into that in a second. Because they limited, this is not like dated limited availability, but they limited the original All-Stars collection to just Switch Online. This is just money bait at its finest. Now, I'm kind of fortunate that they didn't bait a certain set of games that we're going to get into the Switch Online service, because had they done that, I would have been even more pissed. I would have been even more mad at Nintendo. I would have declared that, you know what? Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm like practically not gonna buy the games. Like I'm only gonna buy 3D World, and that's it. It's like I've been. That's not the best example, but I would have been very mad because it's just like it would have been one of the dumbest decisions that Nintendo could have done, having both the original All-Stars collection and the certain rumored collection that we're going to get into Switch, lock it behind Switch Online as well. That would have been stupid. That would have been really dumb. But at least they didn't do that. But I'm still kind of upset that they limited the original All-Star collection to Switch Online, because again, Nintendo is just luring players to sell out into a really bad online service because, well, the NES and SNES games are okay if you haven't played any of them for the first time, like I haven't. Again, I'm going to say this. I have still not touched the Switch Online service outside the trial period, and I don't plan on doing it. I'm 2 years strong, baby. 2 years strong, and I haven't bought the Switch Online service. So, if players didn't want Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo should have at least gave us the option to purchase this original All-Stars collection for, a small fee. Like, instead of having us buy a crappy online service so we can even play the collection, and, well, if we can't afford the NSO anymore, well, we also lose the All-Stars collection. It doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. They just really want people to pay up, to pony up for a shitty online service. It's stupid. This was also stupid. But those are outweighed, at least, by the positives of what was shown in this Mario Direct. And that was Mario 3D World. I have seen people play this game. It looks fun as hell. I missed out on this on the Wii U because, again, I never owned a Wii U. In fact, throughout my high school days, I didn't even hear about the Wii U until I got into college. I have never heard about the Wii U, like, at all. So I must have missed out on a lot, huh? So I'm really glad that they're finally bringing this to Nintendo Switch. And I think it was Game Explained that, and literally explained that this game is going to be 20 to 30% faster than the original Wii U version. So that's a good thing, I guess. That's pretty much a good thing. I guess Nintendo is just going to show more stuff later down the line. But I'm not opposed to that. I just wish they showed a little bit more, like, in terms of, like, what else is new. I mean, we did get that with the Bowser's Fury expansion, even if it was a slight tease. But overall, I'm happy. I'm very happy that 3D World is coming to Switch. It should be a lot of fun, not only in single player, but should also be fun when it comes to playing with friends that come over. And then if you have a party, you can play it with the family there as well, or your friends too. And then they also have online play as well. So if you have a Nintendo Switch Online, that I don't have, because you know why. For those that do, though, that should be that should be a good thing for you. But overall, I'm very glad that 3D World's finally coming to Switch, and now we can officially say that the Wii U is dead. And then AR Mario Kart, the Mario Kart Live home circuit. I think it's pretty creative. I like the way that they did this. It's like an RC Mario Kart with the AR camera, and then you can, like, set it up, like, as long as you have the space to make your own tracks. It's like, it'll be kind of funny. It's like, oh, you set it up in the hallway, and then you put it in the bed in your parents' bedroom, but you catch them fucking. Oops. It's like, hey, honey, why is there a cart in our bedroom? Oh man, people are gonna have a field day with Mario Kart home circuit. Not just in homes, but they should have a field day with doing it like outside of it too, like doing courses like maybe like on the street, given that they don't run, like cars don't run over it, or maybe like I don't know, like let's say at a playground or on a basketball court. I don't know. I think it should lead to some very creative like courses, literally. Literally. So it's gonna retail for $100. That's a fair price point considering this is like going to probably be a very expensive piece of technology with the AR camera. I'm not necessarily gonna pick this up because I'm not that creative, and I do have money for games. I don't have the money for this kind of game. But I'm excited to watch the kind of videos, the kind of setups that these people do with Mario Kart Home Circuit. So I like this. I like this kind of product. And then some of the in-game events were interesting. But the one I'm always interested in is the Splatoon Splatfest. I'm glad they're doing they brought back real Splatfest, like a one-time like real Splatfest for once. It's just kind of weird though that how it was the final Splatfest back in July 2019, and then they're redoing all these Splatfests again. And it's kind of like wears thin on the final Splatfest mantra back in July of 2019. But nonetheless, I'm glad they're doing a Splatfest to commemorate the Mario 35th anniversary. And so far, this Mario Direct has been pretty good. But of course, like with all Nintendo Directs, they have that one more thing that they had to show. So what is that one more thing? Well, the one more thing began with Mario's head, and of course they're stretching out his nose and his head. And well, for those that played it, they know this familiar start screen. I personally don't know what the hell it was. But lo and behold, we eventually got the confirmation of the long, heavily rumored Super Mario 3D remasters, which aren't really remasters. But we'll get into that in a second. So we got a look at Super Mario 64. And then we got a look at Super Mario Sunshine, and personally, one of my favorite Mario games of all time, and probably one of my all-time favorite video games, Super Mario Galaxy. And yeah, I really want to say it now, but we'll get there. So we finally get the reveal of this collection, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That's the title of this collection, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So some of the aspects of this game include all three games have been optimized for higher resolution and smoother performance for the Switch, with Sunshine and Galaxy up to full 1080p. So again, these are pretty much enhanced ports. They're not like full-on remasters or remakes like the Crash and Spyro trilogies. And 64 pretty much is unfortunately like a 4:3 960 by 720 aspect ratio. So they pretty much have black bars, and they could have at least put like a Mario 64 banner in between that empty space. So a little bit more notes, like technical notes here. The game features a music player that compiles the soundtrack of all three games. And then when it came to Galaxy, because that game was very heavy on the Wii's motion controls, people were confused about whether Joy-Cons were required to play that game, because in the trailer, it was shown that a person like waving the Joy-Cons, and people were kind of concerned that Joy-Cons were required, especially for people that have a Switch Lite. And fortunately, so luckily, Nintendo confirmed that Galaxy will be supported in TV, tabletop, and handheld modes. And for TV and tabletop, motion controls are only required for pointer functionality, while handheld, it's been adapted to use touchscreens. So motion controls are completely optional. So that's pretty much all they're saying here. So they further confirmed that by saying that you can gently shake a Joy-Con controller. And for the Galaxy's Co-Star mode, because that had a heavy emphasis on the motion controls, you can pass it to someone, and they can do the shaking. Nintendo also would confirm that the Pro Controller would be supported in all 3 games. And in regards to a release date, it's coming out in 2 weeks. Exactly 2 weeks. September 18th, very soon. And here's where the theme of limited availability strikes again. Like with the Mario Battle Royale, this has a limited run until March 31st, 2021, whether you buy it physically or digitally. So, don't get me wrong. I'm getting this collection. I already pre-ordered it on Best Buy. By the way, I am checking Best Buy right now, and very fortunately, there are still pre-orders up. So if you haven't pre-ordered the game, make sure you get it. I'm just confused. Before I get into that, I haven't played 64 or Sunshine. I've only played Galaxy. I'm just confused that why would they limit this? Why would they limit this to the market? Do they, like with the Mario Battle Royale, do they not see that this is going to be a hot item? Are they doing this on purpose? For the people that have a fear of missing out, because sometimes I do. I'm not afraid to admit that, but they probably clearly know that there are going to be scalpers. I'm pretty sure they're aware of that. And how are people going to be playing these games, especially for those that are going to be playing these games for the first time, whether it's 64, Sunshine, or Galaxy, or 2 or 3 of them, 1 or 3 of them, or all of them? How are people going to be playing these games for the first time, or nostalgia people that are going to be playing these games again, and they don't want to take out their retro consoles? How are they going to play these games if they're at such crazy scalper prices? Well, Nintendo, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And looking at it from a realistic standpoint, well, I am excited for it. Nintendo really didn't do a lot here. All they did was enhance the small little details. They made Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy more high res, especially with 64 and Sunshine. Galaxy was already high res enough, and all they had to do was be like full HD. But if we're being real here, honestly, when it comes to remakes, like Crash and Spyro, like kind of look better. I don't say completely. I say kinda. I only give the Mario 3D collection an advantage here because those 3 games are completely different, like than Spyro and Crash. Because unlike with Crash and Spyro, like Mario plays different in all 3 games in this collection. It's like Mario doesn't have FLUDD in 64. Mario doesn't have FLUDD in 64. Mario doesn't have the spin ability in Sunshine. Mario can't throw Bowser and say, "So long, gay Bowser in Galaxy." It's like there are so many different elements, like in each of these 3 Mario games. While in let's say the Crash Insane trilogy, in Crash 1, like the level layout is kind of similar, and the only thing Crash can do is jump and spin. In Crash 2, the level layout, once you reach past level 5, beyond level 5, it becomes pretty similar. And then the only new ability they give Crash is the ability to slide dash. And then in Crash Warped, they introduce more new levels, but they eventually become similar again. And then they give Crash even more new abilities. And then they also introduce the speed shoes. So it's kind of the same thing with Spyro. It kind of is. And especially with Spyro 3, they don't really give anything new to Spyro. The only thing they add in Year of the Dragon is that they give new playable characters. That's all they do in Year of the Dragon. It's pretty, you get to play. I guess you get to play less as Spyro. I guess. So the point I'm getting at here is that while each game is the same, is kind of identical in the Crash and Spyro remakes, the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, in those 3 games are vastly different from each other. I just wish, however, they did more with it. By I don't know, giving it a bigger graphical overhaul. Because it's the 35th anniversary, I wish they made it a little more special. And I like the cover art. I do like the cover art. I like the inside. Nintendo actually showed it. I was kind of surprised they showed it this early. But, it feels like the rest of the 35th anniversary. Like a small bang. And nothing more. And it's the price point. I think it's a little fair. $60, $20 per game. I mean, Crash and Spyro were $40, but Activision, I think their thought process here was they weren't sure how it would be. I'm pretty sure they thought that, in my opinion, they didn't know how it was gonna sell, and lo and behold, it sold well. It sold well, especially on Switch. So, unlike with the Crash and Spyro remakes, Nintendo can get away with selling this Mario 3D collection, even if it's not full-on remakes, full-on remasters, pretty much Mario enhanced ports of 3D games at $60. So whether we want to dislike it, Nintendo is going to get people's money. I just don't like the way Nintendo's pushing this. Especially with the fact that Nintendo is ignoring Galaxy 2. Nintendo ignored, in my opinion, a much better game than Galaxy 1. I really don't get it. I think the biggest reason I liked Galaxy 2 over 1 was the levels and the addition of Yoshi. And even though the story was pretty much the same, the levels in that game were freaking great. Especially the last one. That was so goddamn challenging. But when you finally complete it, you're like, I really don't know why they didn't include Galaxy 2 in this compilation of games. Maybe they couldn't in time because of the pandemic. Maybe because of the pointer functionality. It was, especially when you had to use Yoshi in certain levels. It was a requirement to use Yoshi in certain levels, and he was a major part in that motion control pointer functionality that became difficult. But I don't know. It just feels incomplete. The pack feels incomplete without Galaxy 2. It's like you have Galaxy 1, but Galaxy 2 was just as good, if not better, than Galaxy 1. It just feels weird. It really does feel weird. But I think what Nintendo is going to do, hopefully like they do it, but I don't know. They make Galaxy 2 a standalone game because again, I don't think they couldn't get the game ready in time to be included in the pack, so they're like, hey, sorry, we couldn't like include Galaxy 2 in the 3D collection bundle, so we're gonna release it as a standalone game. For those who own the 3D All Stars collection, you'll get it as free. Hopefully, it'll be free DLC, because if they make us pay for that shit, I'm gonna be pissed as all hell. But for those who didn't buy it or didn't get it, 3D collection during the limited run, you'll pay this amount of money, and hopefully it's a fair amount, like $20. But if I think it should be $20, whether it's paid DLC or a standalone game. I think that's a fair price point, but I really hope they do Galaxy 2 at some point, because it got ghosted by Nintendo. Literally got ghosted by Nintendo. That doesn't make sense at all. It was like just as critically acclaimed as Galaxy 1, and Nintendo ghosted it. Even in the sizzle reel, Nintendo like acted as it they never made it. As if they never made Galaxy 2. I was like so upset they didn't make Galaxy 2. Rumors be damned. Like, Nintendo said fuck Galaxy 2. I was so upset. But nonetheless, I'm still excited for this Mario 3D All-Stars. Again, I just don't like the approach Nintendo is taking with this, making it a limited time thing from September 18th to March 31st, 2021, and honestly not doing much improvement with the game other than upscaling it to HD. I mean, they could have used the Odyssey engine, but like, I don't know. I guess they wanted to keep it like at face graphics, to help people experience. Oh, look how far we progressed, with the Mario series. I don't know, but all I can say is that we practically literally have every 3D Mario game on the Switch. So there's literally like no reason to purchase a Wii U or a 64, a Nintendo 64, or a GameCube, or a Wii if you solely play Mario games, because it's literally all on the Switch now. You got, again, the 3D collection, which has 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, but Nintendo said fuck Galaxy 2. There's also New Super Mario Bros. U. Then there's also Super Mario 3D World, and then of course you have Odyssey. So pretty much like, and then of course there's Super Mario Maker, Mario Tennis. So I'm not sure what else Nintendo could do in regards to like porting Mario games, but at least we got most of the mainline Mario 3D games, most of them. I just hope they don't start porting over. Like, I don't think they need to port any more Mario like mainline games. We don't need to see the same new Super Mario Bros. Games, like 5 of the same new Super Mario ports on the Switch. We already have New Super Mario Bros. U, and that's like a slip and slide disaster in of itself. But before I end this topic, I'm just kind of like add any of the 3D land levels to the 3D World port of Switch. Maybe, I guess, because 3D Land was already a unique game in itself that they don't necessarily need to. But I don't know. But yeah, that's the 35th Mario anniversary direct. I thought it was pretty good. It's just the questionable decisions that Nintendo has taken with this anniversary that's gonna turn off a lot of people, like especially when it comes to the limited availability. Because what if people, again, not everyone right now has the money to purchase the Mario 3D All Stars, or the money to get a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. It's like, once Mario Battle Royale or the 3D All Stars collection, both physically and digitally, go off the shelves after March 31st, then I literally don't know what's going to happen. There's probably going to be an uproar over that. People are going to be pissed. That's all I can tell you. People are going to be fucking pissed. But anyway, let's move on to our last topic of the day. And I'm I'm pretty excited to get into this one. So even though we got the Mario 35th anniversary direct yesterday, we got the reveal of the long-awaited Mario enhanced ports, and we got Mario these brand new line of Mario themed stuff. It just doesn't change the fact that it's been 1 year of no general Nintendo Directs. All we got was Animal Crossing. Oh man, I'm terrible at songs. But yeah, we have officially reached the 1 year anniversary of the last full-on mainline general Nintendo Direct. But Dylan, we got other games. So, not everyone is interested in those other games. I mentioned how those games are played by niche crowds. Who out there is going to want to play Shin Megami Tensei 5 or 3, whatever number it is on now, other than the less than 10% people that play those kind of games? No More Heroes 3, which we don't even know about. Who's going to go out there and purchase that outside the hardcore video gamer? Kingdom Hearts Melody of Failure, that rhythm game. Who wants, like, outside of the Kingdom Hearts fan base or the JRPG fan base, who's going to want to purchase that? And all the weeb games that were infiltrated in these last several directs, whether it's a partner showcase, a mini, or even the last full-on general Nintendo Direct back last year. Who cares? Who fucking cares? So, we all, like, I will say this even as a WWE fan. Who cares about WWE Battlegrounds? Who cares about WWE Battlegrounds? Literally. But I will say that, like, 2K has Borderlands, like, all the Borderlands, BioShock, but there's, like, a big-ass download requirement for those games. And then you also got, like, World of Danks. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you got for the Switch ever since the last full mainline direct happened. So, I want to bring up this thought. I know people got Nintendo Switches, some people at least, for Nintendo games. But what if they're only interested in the aforementioned Mario games like Odyssey or the 3D Collection? Or if they're just interested in a Zelda like Breath of the Wild? Or Smash Bros. Just Smash Bros. They're only interested in Smash Bros. They only got a Switch for Smash Bros. Or even Metroid. Like, what? When are they going to get that information? When are they going to get their information on the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel? When are we going to get information for the next character for Smash? When are we going to get information for Bayonetta 3? When are we even going to get information for freaking Metroid Prime 4? Or if they're even going to do a Metroid Prime trilogy. So, it's been a year since the last full-on general Nintendo Direct, and I kind of want to do something fun. There's not going to be any opinion, like analysis, like on a topic or anything. I want to go back and revisit the last full mainline general Nintendo Direct and revisit not everything, but some of the key things that Nintendo revealed in this event. So let me pull it up here. Make sure there are no ads running, because you know how tricky ads can be. Easy to. Okay. All right. So I got the full general main direct here. Got it all set up and running. Let me just pull up my screen here. All right, can you guys see that fine? All right. I kind of want to mute it because might run into copyright issues. So we're going to skim through this, and oh yeah, there we go. We got the worst kept secret from this general Nintendo Direct, Overwatch on the Nintendo Switch. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it anymore. I don't see a lot of people talking about Overwatch. I'm wondering if people even play it still. So, like, that was like a worst kept secret in the Nintendo community, Overwatch on the Switch. I think that was long overdue, but unfortunately, I don't see a lot of people playing it anymore. And then we got some news about Luigi's Mansion 3. But it better refresh and load. There we go. Because that game was coming out in October around Halloween time. And we needed to know more about the game. I thought the game looked pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I just didn't care enough about the series because I haven't played the other two games to care. And then we've got a bunch of other filler games here. See, this is the problem. This Direct didn't have enough interesting things. There were probably like one or two interesting things that people cared about, like literally cared about, and I only had like one. Luigi's Mansion, like, that was the thing that people were interested in, but everything, like the things after this, like Super Kirby Clash, and then this random weeb game, Trials of Mana, and I don't know what the hell this is, Return of the Obra Dinn. And then what is this? Town Hero? I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh yeah, and this was also the Direct that Sakurai revealed. That Sakurai did a Banjo-Kazooie presentation, and then they also revealed Terry Bogard. At the time, I was very disappointed in this reveal. And I was very disappointed in the reveal of Terry Bogard. Because, like, I was wondering, who the fuck is this dude? It's like, why did Sakurai really pick Terry Bogard as a DLC slot? Because at the time, remember, Nintendo literally was still on Fighter Pass 1. and Terry Bogard was the second to last fighter in this slot before we know obviously who took that slot. And then at the time they didn't have plans to do a second Fighters Pass until they announced this. This is the part where I actually got hyped. More DLC fighters now in development. So that's all they said. They didn't say anything about a Fighters Pass 2. I think they said that in the Bylift presentation. So I think that's where they said that. But I was excited for this because I was excited for that announcement because it gave my personal pick, Crash Bandicoot, more chances to get into Smash. Because, again, I'm going to say this over and over again. He has the best time, especially with Crash 4 coming out now. He deserves it most. Without him, it just feels incomplete. It really does. Anyway, after that announcement, we got gameplay of Link's Awakening. I wasn't that interested in it. And then we got Weeb Quest 11. We got Dragon Quest 11. There was a demo for that. More Weeb games, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Oh yeah, that was a game that came out this year too. Yeah, that was the theme of this direct. Uninteresting Weeb games. I don't know. I forgot what this game was. Hold on a second. There we go. It's loading too slow. I have no idea what this game was. Oh, Deadly Promotion 2. Yeah, that wasn't interesting. Divinity 2, I wasn't interested in that one either. Bethesda. Bethesda announced Doom 64. That one was a good announcement, though. But unfortunately, they didn't announce the release date for Doom Eternal yet for the Switch. Rogue Company, I think that was the first announcement for Rogue Company. I think in the partner showcase in July, they announced that it was coming today, and then we got a lot of details about Sword and Shield, and then they went to the spiel about Switch Online. Oh yeah, they also revealed the SNES controllers, and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic. Oh man, this must feel really dated now. This feels terrible. So yeah, they did a trailer for Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympic Games too. That sucks, you know. It's like they probably got to reproduce copies to make it like, oh, it's now Mario and Sonic at the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games. Oh yeah, and then we got a trailer for Daemon X Machina. That game literally never worked out. And then a game, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Outcast. I don't know what this game was. Oh, Witcher 3, yeah. I forgot about that. Like, did they first announce Witcher 3 at E3, or was it this direct that first announced it? I know a lot of people were excited that Witcher 3 was coming nonetheless, but yeah, this was revealed. I remember that. And then Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection, that was also a good announcement. I unfortunately, like, I don't know, I always wanted to try out Assassin's Creed, but I don't know, for some reason I just don't have the willpower to get into it. This random game, I guess that was the this was the sizzle reel for that was probably just some third-party games that couldn't fit in the sizzle reel. And then we got the trailer, the sizzle reel that had Just Dance. This is like the traditional sizzle reel. Oh, wait, really? Grid Autosport was released during this point? I don't remember that. But Grid Autosport turned out to be a fun game. But I guess this was this led the way for the partner showcases. And then Farming Simulator, this random game, NBA 2K20. So that's a plus. That was also a plus. The Outer Worlds. We all know how that turned out. Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 3 was better. Vampire. And that was honestly a very small sizzle reel. I was kind of surprised how small it was. Looking back at it now. And then we got an update for Animal Crossing. Like a very lengthy one, honestly. That pretty much reinforced what was already told at E3. And then last but not least, the one more thing was, unfortunately, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And, well, I know some people liked the Xenoblade series, but I personally had no interest in it. Especially after the disappointment that was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But I still vouch for Rex Pyra in Smash. But yeah, that was the general Nintendo Direct. I know I skimmed through it, but yeah, a lot to unpack there. But just looking at it now, it was pretty lackluster. There was nothing in this Direct that I would say I can remember what the hell happened. Outside of, again, that there's more DLC fighters coming to Smash Bros. That was literally the only thing that I got excited for. Everything else literally was like me just watching through this Direct starelessly. But yeah, that was pretty much me during that whole Direct because nothing of interest was there. I didn't care about Xenoblade. I didn't care about Dragon Quest. I didn't care about Tokyo Mirage Sessions. None of these weeb-ass games. I wanted to see something that interested me. Like, that could say, whoa, that game was special. That announcement was special. Luigi's Mansion almost sold me there, but I don't know. I just kind of never got into it. Grid Autosport eventually got me there. Eventually got me to that point. Obviously, the Smash announcement was cool. Terry Bogard disappointed for me, but eventually, once I played him, fun character. And then, obviously, Banjo, the announcement that Sakurai is going to have a presentation after the Direct, hyped a lot of people, so I'm glad people were happy for that. But, yeah, just looking back at this Direct a year later, not a lot happened. Not a lot of interesting things happened. Now, I don't know if we're going to get a full-on general Nintendo Direct this year anymore. With the way Nintendo has done partner showcases, done separate game-specific Directs, done announcements on Twitter, done a Nintendo Direct Mini. I don't know. Especially now that the Mario 3D All-Stars collection is a thing, but I don't know if that's going to be a big holiday seller like the holiday game. But I just think that Nintendo should have a general Direct lined up because they have to address what's coming out in November and December. They don't have a game plan for Bayonetta 3, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, and other unreleased games coming out in the next year. I think No More Heroes 3 is one of them as well. So Nintendo needs to get the ball rolling with the other games that people may be interested in. So, and they can also use this Direct to lay out the groundwork for 2021 because they already know 2020 is gonna already sucks ass, but at least get people hyped for November, December, and early 2021. Fill something up for January. You already got February filled with Super Mario 3D World. Start making the steps towards the holiday season and to early 2021. But it's just crazy how it's already been 1 year without a proper, a general, full-on Nintendo Direct. And I hope Nintendo has at least one under their sleeve. I mean, if not, it's not the end of the world. I still have a couple of games that I need to finish. And then, of course, we have the Mario 3D All-Stars collection that has just been added to the list. But, yeah. All I can say is, like, Nintendo needs to at least give some people hope going into this holiday season and into early next year. Because right now, even with Sony still figuring out the kinks of the PlayStation 5, and neither Sony and Microsoft willing to shell out the price for their next gen consoles, they're still gonna be like getting people to pay for it. They're still getting people to play the fancy new games on the fancy new consoles. So Nintendo needs to ramp it up. Like, I understand we got a pandemic going on still, but Sony and Microsoft have been upping it despite the pandemic. Nintendo is finally reaching there with baby steps with the Mario Direct. Now it's time to address the non-Mario fans. But we'll see if they do that. And hopefully they do that. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, that's all I got for you tonight. Pretty lengthy show tonight, and I actually like these jam-packed shows. I really do. I just don't like doing them at very late night. But hopefully we'll be back at our normal time, 4:30 Pacific. Again, let me know how you feel about all the topics we discussed, from the Smackdown highlights to WWE not allowing its talent to use third-party platforms like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. This is all reportedly, again, obviously, and among other wrestling topics that we discussed. And then when we got into the gaming news, it was all Mario, Super Mario, and then of course the last and final topic, reliving the last general Nintendo Direct that took place exactly 1 year ago today. So let me know how you all feel, your thoughts on how you feel on these topics in the comments down below. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, click that like button, comment down below, turn on the notification bell, because apparently YouTube doesn't want to send out notifications. But if the notification bell is broken, always click on the channel so you'll know that I'm live. So if it says I'm live on my channel, I'm live. So that way you'll know to check it out. But anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. I totally forgot my theme music for the show. But other than that, while I get my music together and get my shit together, I really hope there's a general Nintendo Direct. Even though the Mario Direct was really good. Again, they gotta address the non-Mario fans. That statement, I will leave with you here tonight. But hey, everyone, thank you all for joining me on this good discussion on here on Dylan Lasagna Live. Always be delicious. I'll see you all the next time I stream, and hopefully that will be soon. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. Stay safe. Wear your masks. We'll get out of this pandemic soon. Hopefully. All right, everyone.